AskReddit. What is the most ducked up thing you've ever done that no one knows about? Flooded a bathroom with a mega turd. There was a bathroom in every floor in the engineering building. The bottom 2 floors were always full and or out of toilet paper. I really had to go, so I went to the 4th floor, since it was almost always empty. Proceeded to annihilate the toilet. Finished wiping, went to flush, kicked the handle like always, and didn't realize it got jammed. The poop didn't go away, the flush handle was stuck. Water started overflowing. I ran out. The worst part? There was a guy in the stall next to me. I never wore those shoes to school again. No way to ID me. Gave a knife to a kid, maybe 4 to 5, and said get him. He took off after another kid to kill him. Luckily the other kids outran mini murderer. I was about 7. My friends and I were playing with knives. Parents fully aware and not present 90s were great. I was writing names for my son's Valentine's Day card exchange envelopes. I got him some that had a riddle on it. His attention span is too short to address some 15 plus cards, so I let him point to which ones go to which kid. We get to this one kid's name, and my son starts telling me how the kid calls him stupid. I choose the whole people will say all kinds of things to you your whole life. It's up to you to decide who to listen to, lecture and then finish up with the cards. This is embarrassing and petty. Nobody probably noticed it, but I ripped the kid's card, so he wouldn't be able to read the answer to the riddle. Next level petty. I love it. I was in a bathroom in Tokyo. I spent way too much that night on alcohol and was very drunk and was worried I couldn't afford to make it to my next payday. I saw a wallet next to the toilet when I was peeing and took about $200 out of it. I woke up the next morning with the highest amount of guilt I've ever felt in my life. This and a few other events made me realize I had to stop drinking because I just turned into a horrible person when I did. I thought you were going to say you were so drunk you stole it from your own wallet. My mum cleans houses for a living. When I was little and sick from school, I would come with her and play on the rich kids' Wii and explore the mansions. I stole many expensive toys and pretended I found them in the backyard on the grass at home. Edit. No, my mum did not find out what I was doing. She's not very observant, as well as being Asian, and not very good at English. She still cleans the same house to this day, plus many others. Was in Cub Scouts, who did fundraisers for scout activities. We'd hang out at the entrance of a supermarket with a poster board about the event and a jar, and people would put change and bills in it. We also counted the money and turned it into the troop. We noticed it was like $300+ from a full day of chilling in the shade and hyping up the soapbox derby or whatever. Well, one summer my friend and I decided to put on our uniforms and hang out to fundraise for a camping trip that didn't exist. We hung out for about 4 or 5 hours before we lost our nerve and split. Got about $200. Some old lady also wrote us a check for $50, but it was made out to the scouts and neither of us had the balls to try to cash it. When I was like 9, I had a crush on a boy in my class. Turns out a friend of mine also liked him. He liked her, and they announced they were not dating at that age, but mutually acknowledging each other. I was a bit upset and offended, and me and another friend complained to each other about it. She liked him as well. Pretty sure it was a case of if she wants it, I want it, rather than any particular feelings about him as a person. We were literally children. Anyway, as horrible little sociopaths who have not learned empathy do, we figured that, because this particular boy did not like his girlfriend's sister, we could stir up trouble that way. We did, by doing the usual talk in the sister's ear, talk in his, put him in her way, start a fight, girlfriend gets involved on her little sister's behalf. Somehow it all escalates, boy pushes sister, and she falls down some stairs and breaks her arm. Whoops. Girl and boy break up. The whole thing happened over the period of one lunch period. I was annoyed with one of my co-workers. I wrote an email to the owner of the company, claiming to be a customer, and alleged some abuse on her part. She was fired immediately. Worst part is, I got transferred to another branch in our company. She ended up getting hired there not a week after I moved. Edit. This is officially my most upvoted comment. Kinda sucks it's for something I did that was so shitty. This was well over a decade ago, and I've really straightened out my life since then. I wasn't a great person at that time, drinking a lot and generally being quite selfish. It is nice to know that my life then is completely different, for the better, than it is now. I shat in the school's toilet. Theirs was no paper, so I wobbled to the sink to clean up. Nobody came in. I was a lucky guy. Edit. I haven't told this secret to anybody, and now over 3k people upvoted it. You're the biggest risk taker I have ever heard of. During my middle school years I was going through an edgy phase, where the outcasts were cool and the popular kids were the lame ones, maybe even an incel neckbeard in training. One of the very popular girls posted about being sad or something and me being the edgy cool guy, and I was thought, what does she have to be sad about? She doesn't have it hard. So I sent a very mean and vulgar anonymous message to her, and while I didn't threaten her, it was taken as a threat which got her parents involved. Her response caught me off guard though. It wasn't angry or fighting back, it was just sadness and confusion as to why I was attacking her. I felt awful and came clean about what I did. I apologized to her and her parents for the trouble I caused, and since then I tried to strip away every part of me that would want to cause pain to someone. I still look back with disgust about the person I was becoming, but it was like a fork in my life and I knew I had to change. I just wish my realization didn't come at the cost of hurting that poor girl. When I was young I had a Mountain Dew cap with a $10 reward, and I kept it for keepsake. When I found out someone had stolen it from my bag I got into everyone's bag during lunch and bent everyone's holographic Pokemon cards.